I admit to always improving.
Everybody comes in, your grandmother, your... $7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico. We've ended the war on American energy. We were in war. And we've ended the war on beautiful, clean coal, one of our great natural resources.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices. In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices. In case you don't know, who you're worried about, I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers, no more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield. Who you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers, no more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield.
So notice something. Notice something. I defended him on his bad joke because I have standards and I have principles.
Then I have an Article 2 where I have the right to do whatever I want as president, but I don't even talk about it. That's true, and it is what you're dying. That's true, and you have dying. That's true. That's true. And it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And it is what it is. It is what it is. You're dying. That's true. That's true. That's true. You're dying. That's true. And it is what it is. no good, really bad for you.
Look, talk about education. Does in fact have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school, to help them deal with help. They don't know quite what to do. Sure, the television, the phone. It's not play the radio, 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 play the radio. The record player on it. The record player. Play the radio, play the radio, play the record player on at night. The record, play the radio. The record player. The record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
I hate the white man. He's of the devil. He was made in a cave in the worst parts of Europe, produced from the lowest forms of humanity.
And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives, so this Burmesia, they say, pronounce it Burmesia. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. People in law and order. People in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened.
Hello, users, and welcome to another motherfucker of a goddamn. I am your host, Dumbass Bitch, and I'm here to deliver a program. I've got some programmatic experience here that I'm going to utilize, and in that utilization of the programmatic experience, I am going to experience the program, and that is, it's gonna happen. So that's what's happening. Maxie, come over here. We got Max the dog, folks, incoming. Max, come on. Max! Maxie, come on to bed. Come on. Got Max the dog, he's coming in. Check this out. Max! I love you. I don't remember when that show is premiering, so. Look at this fucking dog. Ooh. All right, we got Max the dog co-hosting today. My co-host, Max the motherfucking doggy. Brush your teeth. You gotta brush your teeth. Alright, folks. Max, the motherfucking doggy's joining us today. Look at him. He's so good. He's so good. Oh. He is so good. What a hell of a dog. Hell of a dog, folks. So yesterday was day 149 of protesting in the city of Elizabeth City in the county of Pasquotank County over the police assassination of Andrew Brown Jr. that took place on April 21st, 2021. Don't worry about that beeping. It's not relevant to the stream, I promise. There is no bomb, there is no fire. But anyway, so we've been out here for 149 days. Today will be day 150. And so that's a pretty big milestone. We are continuing once again to do downtown sidewalk protests. That way everyone who's driving around downtown in Elizabeth City can hear what we have to say. Now, for those of you that don't remember, over the last week, there's been a big public relations propaganda, like slew from the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department. About a week ago or 2 weeks ago, Tommy Wooten accepted a bow and arrow as a gift and, made a big publication about it. And he was trying to do that. And then he was also doing a photo op where he was being a crossing guard for an elementary school as kids go into school so that they can catch a deadly virus and kill each other and their families. Great job, Tommy. You did a good one on that one. But then recently, the Pasquotank County Board of Commissioners decided to waste, $69,000 so that they can call themselves peace officers. That's right. They're changing from police and or sheriff deputies to peace officers. That's right, because they uphold the peace. So that way, when you see Robert Morgan, Daniel Meads, or Aaron Llewellyn running around town, those are the people that murdered Andrew Brown Jr., and then you see on their uniform, oh yeah, they're peace officers. That's right. They murdered my friend, my neighbor, my brother, my father, but at least they're called peace officers. That makes it a lot better. It's a joke. It's a fucking giant joke. Also, the Pasquotank County Commissioners decided to make up this big scandal. Our crane company got threats, so we need to tax a predominantly black county more money, $50,000 extra to remove a Confederate racist monument that should have been removed hundreds of years ago. Should never have been erected in the first place. So let's tax black people and make sure that their money is wasted on removing racist shit. When guess what? There's a river right down the road. You can throw that shit in the river free of charge. In fact, I am officially placing my bid. I will literally pay the Pasquotank County Treasury if they want me to destroy the monument. But they don't want that. They'd rather funnel and launder money into their pals' bank accounts and make up excuses. Oh, we got threatened. Anything to rob the treasury of Pasquotank County. Meanwhile, they are still in the process of collecting the millions and millions of dollars of the American Rescue Plan funds. So they're not short for money. And so it's a little ridiculous. Are they going to spend that tax, are they going to spend those tax dollars on anything for Pasquotank County residents? Elizabeth City residents? No, they're not, because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying mother fuck because they're selfish, corrupt losers. That's right, the whole lot of them. But anyway, we've been out here for 149 days, and we're going to be out here for 150 today. And we ain't going nowhere, folks. That's all I have to say on the subject. What's up? I don't know if they bought it. I think they just signed up that said they wanted it. I'm pretty sure that it was, I don't know if they purchased it. I did not, Sal. There is no link. New World Global Community, it does not exist. In other North Carolina news, Representative Madison Cawthorn broke the law, but will he be held accountable? Of course not, because this, my friends, is North Carolina, where we don't hold corrupt politicians accountable for when they break the law. Instead, we're going to utilize all law enforcement power on policing, over-policing poor and minority neighborhoods. That's what we do in North Carolina. When a rich white congressman breaks the law and brings knives into a school board meeting, whatever, bro. It's cool. But if you see someone smoking a blunt on the sidewalk, sorry, we're going to jail, buddy. But anyway, Representative Madison Cawthorn will not be charged after having a knife at school board meeting. A North Carolina school system contacted a sheriff's office after a report that U.S. Rep. Madison Cawthorn brought a knife to a school board meeting that he attended to oppose the district's COVID-19 mask mandate. Bringing knives onto school grounds is a Class 1 misdemeanor in North Carolina. Thursday, the Henderson County School District said Cawthorn would not be charged. What? Although unacceptable, occasionally a person inadvertently possesses a knife on school grounds, the district statement read. Oh, so if a poor black kid goes to school with a knife in their backpack, oh, sorry, you're fucked, right? But if it's anyone else, oh, whatever, it happens. Sometimes people bring weapons into schools. Whatever, who cares? On Monday, Cawthorn spoke to the school board in Henderson County. The next day, one of his political opponents released a photo that appeared to show him having a knife in a sheath attached to the bottom of his wheelchair, and a group opposing Cawthorn's re-election to Congress reported him to local law enforcement. I don't really know anything about that, Cawthorn said when asked about the allegations after speaking out. That's the thing. I don't know anything about it. Like, there's a photo. It exists, right? Like, I know what I had in my person, but I don't know. I don't know. What? 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 You know why he was there, by the way? You know why he was there?
Our children have been muzzled, forced to grow up in a world where their emotions are hidden and their voices are smothered. During the most impressionable times of their lives, children should not be forced to obey destructive, unscientific mandates.
Speaking of destructive, unscientific mandates, what's the school dress code? Does anyone know? If I wore a shirt that said, "Fuck Joe Biden," would I be kicked out of school? If I wore a shirt that, had a gun on it, would I be allowed to stay in school, or would I be sent home? That's pretty unscientific, if you ask me. If I say the fuck word in school over and over again, I would be sent home. That's unscientific. But when it comes to preventing disease and preventing the massacre of our children, whatever. Whatever, who cares? Dumb motherfucker. This guy is a dumb fuck motherfucker, and I fucking hate his ass. Oh my god, Max the dog is being a dog today. Max the dog, he's a doggy dog. Max the doggy, Max the dog. Max the dog, he's a doggy dog. Doggy doggy, doggy doggy. Max the dog, Max the doggy. Max the doggy, Max the doggy dog. All right, folks. Settle the fuck down, Catherine. So, folks, I have bad news. I have really, really bad news. So, I have some extremely bad news. I want everyone to get very serious for a moment. The coronavirus has a new victim. Laura Loomer. So, Laura Loomer in December. I hope I get COVID just so I can prove to people I've had bouts of food poisoning that are more serious and life-threatening than a hyped-up virus. Have you ever eaten bad fajitas? Not to be confused with Vegeta. That will kill you faster than COVID, according to Laura Loomer from December. Now she is saying, just pray for me, please. Can't even begin to explain how brutal the body aches and nausea that come with COVID are. I am in so much pain. This is honestly the worst part about it. We have more. Yesterday I was feeling ill. I had a fever, chills, a runny nose, sore throat, nausea, and severe body aches that made my whole body feel like I got hit by a bus. And after sleeping for a few hours, my symptoms started to remind me of how I felt when I had a bad case of the flu a few years ago. Reminder, folks, wear a mask, get vaccinated. I'm not fucking around. If there's anyone in my audience that isn't vaccinated, go fuck yourself. If there's any anti-masker in my audience, go fuck yourself. I don't want anything to do with you. That being said, let's continue. So I took a COVID test and it came back positive! I have not taken the COVID-19 vaccine. And I don't plan on ever taking it because it is unsafe and ineffective. It is not, that's not true, actually. It is very safe and very effective. If you don't believe in vaccines, you're a dumb fuck motherfucker. Also, did you go to elementary school? Oh, okay, alright, cool. Today, I immediately started a treatment of azithromycin and hydroxychloroquine. I'm also taking the Orthoimmune dietary supplement. She's taking supplements, folks. For those of you that don't know, this is the dumb fuck motherfucking bitch who chained herself to Twitter. So, I wanted to get ivermectin, but I couldn't get it. Doctors are really weird about prescribing it, which pisses me off! Maybe because it doesn't work. Yeah, so I scraped my knee, doc, and so I scraped my knee. And, like, you know, I put a bandage on it, but, you know, can I have, like, you know, a couple hundred, you know, of the, you know, the good stuff, doc, you know? Like, you don't just get to go to the doctor and ask for whatever you want, and then, like, say, I've got COVID, so can I have ivermectin? That's like saying, oh, you know, I stubbed my toe, can I have a fucking full script of Percocet? That's not how it works. That's not how the world works. So, you know, my mom called me and made me a little upset, so can I have 100 Xanax? Maybe, is that possible? No, that's not how the world works. Luckily, I live in Florida. I'm not even gonna read that. Laura Loomer is fucked, folks. And, fortunately for the rest of us, and, you know, for whatever potential, you know, person would be involved here, she is fucked not in the good dick way. She is fucked in the COVID way. And if she dies, hey, I'm not saying I wish for her to die. I'm not saying that. That would be something that I wouldn't say because I would never say that. That being said, you know, good luck with that, Jack. Folks, I have an update on the tax the rich scenario that was occurring. Do you remember this, folks? You remember tax the rich? Remember when AOC wore a dress? Well, anyway, we have this very interesting segment from MSNBC. Now, for those of you that don't know, I normally do not play clips from MSNBC. I do not like MSNBC. I do not like the people that host shows there. That being said, I think it's pretty cool when a right-wing news network will go out there and do stuff like this. So let's watch.
Democrats in the House presented a plan yesterday to pay for their social policy and climate change package by raising taxes by more than $2 trillion, largely on wealthy people and profitable corporations. But this morning, the New York Times reports that plan, quote, stopped well short of changes needed to dent the vast fortunes of tycoons like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, or to thoroughly close the most egregious loopholes exploited by high-flying captains of finance. It aimed to go after the merely rich more than the fabulously rich. Instead, the Times reports senior House Democrats opted to be more mindful of moderate concerns in their party than of its progressive ambitions. The focus on traditional ways of raising revenue, raising tax rates on income rather than targeting wealth itself. The Times continues, the bill dispenses with measures floated by the White House and Senate Democrats to tax wealth or to close off avenues that the super rich have exploited to pass on a lifetime of gains to their heirs tax-free. Democrats caution the proposal is likely to change. This is just out of one committee as it makes its way through Congress. Joe, so the top marginal tax rate is proposed to be raised to 39.6
If you haven't seen this yet, you won't believe it.
From 37%, but that, as you know, doesn't get at the way the super wealthy and corporations make their money and avoid taxes.
Well, and we see it every year. I don't understand what's going on when you have the people writing the tax bill for the Democrats saying they're concerned about moderates' concerns. What, do they want Jeff Bezos and Amazon to keep paying $0 in tax? Is that a moderate concern, or is that actually a lobbyist's concern? Because over the past few years, there are corporations that have paid zero taxes in a year, and just over the past couple of years, that includes Amazon, Chevron, Avis, Delta, Eli Lilly, GM, Goodyear, Halliburton, Honeywell, IBM, Netflix, Occidental Petroleum, Owens Corning.
Notice
Salesforce,
Mika in the background. It's like,
Steel,
holy shit, Joe's
Archer
going off.
Daniels, FedEx, Nike, on and on and on. Are moderates really concerned that those corporations may actually have to pay millions of dollars in tax? Because right now they're paying zero. And billionaires are continuing to figure out how to pay little or nothing. Hedge fund titans are paying taxes at lower rates than their clerical employees and the people who chauffeur their Bentleys. You think that's demagoguery? You think that's popular? No, it's not. No, that's the fact. Billionaires' capital, it doesn't get taxed.
Now we're talking about capital.
Do.
Motherfucker said the C word on stream. Oh, fuck.
We need to raise the taxes on people who are working, but leave billionaires alone as they continue to amass capital and continue. Listen to me here. Listen to me here. Because everybody hates income redistribution. That makes you a socialist, doesn't it? If you're for a scheme that redistributes wealth, well, let me tell you something. In the world we've lived in over the past 40 years, there's been the largest income redistribution scam in American history. And it's been the middle class that's been looted while trillions keep flowing into the bank accounts of billionaires. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? This whole income redistribution thing we keep, oh, you can't raise taxes on people because that will be income redistribution. You're a socialist. Well, guess what? The very people who are saying that, the very people who are funding think tanks that'll say that, the very people that are paying lobbyists to get the message out to say that, the very people who are spending millions and millions of dollars on lawyers and lobbyists on K Street who are saying that, they're the people who have scammed you. They're the people whose monopolies continue to be untouched. They continue to be untouched all because they can buy the best lobbyists, they can buy the best lawyers, they can buy the best influencers on Capitol Hill, across Washington, D.C., and across Wall Street. Please, please, Democrats, do better than that. Tax capital. Take a dip.
He's saying the C word on MSNBC. The C word.
On these super wealthy billionaires who keep accumulating, keep amassing fortunes. Because you're just, I mean, when you're taxing income a little bit more, 2% here, 3% here, you're missing the target. If you want to make this country a fairer place, if you want to get us back to where we were before, where there wasn't just such massive divergence between the super wealthy and the rest of Americans, you're going to have to rewrite your tax plan, because that one's just lousy.
Whoa!
Hey, thanks so much.
Whoa! 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 Whoa, folks. Whoa. 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 That's pretty incredible. I have no actual commentary on that one. Like, that's actually super... that's super cool. Yeah, I don't watch cable. So whenever I see these clips go viral, I'm like, all right. But anyway, so, this is the thing that really, like, that we have to understand. Is that, like, the mainstream culture is getting a lot more socialistic. It is getting a lot more against the wealthy. Imagine someone saying something like that 10 years ago, right? Or 20 years ago. So, like, things are getting pretty good out here. So, and again, this is a Republican member of Congress. A former Republican. Right? Like, that isn't... Right? Like, isn't that crazy? He was a Republican, and now he's going out there, like, fucking going, like, further to the left than Bernie Sanders in his fucking tax shit. I mean, that's incredible. It's incredible. I mean, again, yes, they fucked Bernie in the face, and not in the good dick way, and our entire future is destroyed because of these people, and I will never forget that. That being said, class consciousness is good. And if people who respect Joe Scarborough and watch MSNBC religiously get to hear this stuff, that's good. That can only be a good thing in my estimation, and I'll take it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have cable either, so. This is a can of seltzer, and I'm shaking it up so that it's super fizzy. Mmm. This is my thumbs up. How's everyone doing today? Someone give me a scoop. I'm pretty sure that's not BPA. I'm pretty sure. I mean, either way, the tap water's killing me, so. Shit, might be aligned with BPA. I might be fucked. I love to listen to the community by spending $69,000 on paying people from across the country to do nothing. This looks pretty cool. Alright, so, Based Millie apparently told Trump that the George Floyd protests were no big deal. And then you got this guy's head. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, dismissed the George Floyd riots, quote-unquote, as penny packet protests, insisting they weren't an insurrection because the mobs only used spray paint, according to a new book. The under fire general, accused of going behind President Donald Trump's back to contact his Chinese counterpart, which, by the way, I did not cover that, but I am in complete support of making Trump mad. I am not in support of the military doing actions without, oversight. That I am not in support of that. But my anger at Trump and my idea that Trump is triggered is that slightly. I care more about that. I'm going to be honest. And also, I'm not one of those people that has like these strong, fierce, iron ideological principles when it. Like, I judge things on a case-by-case basis. If, Donald Trump was trying to, save the world and Mark Milley was like, hell no, you ain't saving the world on my watch, I would have a problem with that. But if Donald Trump was, considering nuclear war and he was like, nope, not gonna happen, that's actually a good thing. Mr. President, they are not burning it down. All right, wait. Trump raised fears that they were burning America down. Right? And then, so Milley says, Mr. President, they are not burning it down, he told the alarmed commander-in-chief, according to authors Bob Woodward and Robert Costa. They used spray paint, Mr. President. That's not an insurrection. I love the idea. Yeah, America was burned down. Like Minneapolis, folks. Do we remember Minneapolis was burned down? Like, if you go to the area formerly known as Minneapolis, it's just a giant crater. Like in, Dragon Ball Z or whatever. Like, when there's, an explosion or something and there's a giant crater left. That's it. It got burned down. The whole city burned down. Seattle burned down. Portland burned down. Washington, D.C. was burned down. The whole thing was burned down. That's why if you go to that area, you see a full bustling city filled with cars, shops, life, and people because the whole thing was burned down. Duh. It was not immediately clear when this conversation happened, but violent, fiery protests broke out in cities across the U.S. soon after Floyd's death at the hands of Minneapolis police in May of 2020. Whatever. The rest of this is just propaganda. Yo, this image is badass. Holy shit. God damn. But anyway, that's pretty good. So, Based Millie, folks. I don't know what else to say. Also, just because I love cringe. I love cringe. Cringe is great. We all love cringe. Don't we all love cringe here? Aoc Hit with second ethics complaint over Net Gala attendance. Instagram reportedly sponsored AOC's seat to the annual gala. Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was hit Thursday with another ethics complaint over her attendance at Monday night's Met Gala, with a second conservative watchdog group claiming she violated house rules on accepting gifts. Now, if this, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. If this is true, every single member of Congress would have to resign immediately because they've all gone to events. If going to an event is accepting a gift, the complaint from the National Legal and Policy Center, NLPC, to the Office of Congressional Ethics alleged that Ocasio-Cortez improperly accepted tickets from a table sponsor for herself and her boyfriend. House rules allow members to take free tickets to charity events directly from event organizers. And the Post reported Tuesday that AOC and boyfriend Riley Roberts were directly invited by the Metropolitan Museum of Art. However, the NLPC argued that it is the table sponsor who is gifting or underwriting a coveted seat to AOC at the gala. And if, by the way, there's no end quote. There's the quote, and then the end quote is down here. But then there's just there's a lack of quotations. Help. And if the table where AOC sat was one paid for by one of the corporations attending the event, such as Instagram or Facebook, AOC has received a prohibited gift from the corporation that also lobbies Congress. The complaint further alleged that the borrowed white Brother Valley's gown worn by AOC, which featured the words "tax the rich" scrawled on the back in red lettering, constituted an impermissible gift because it was directly related to AOC's position with the House as a highly visible and controversial member. I'm sorry. Also, what is this? Glenn Greenwald says photos of maskless men. Oh my god. I'm gonna be honest though, not wearing masks at the Met Gala was cringe. So as much as Glenn Greenwald being advertised on Fox News is hilarious to me, I do have to say, not wearing masks at a public event is dumb. I'm sorry, especially when it's a public event that you can wear costumes to. Incorporate the mask into the costume. Dress up as Kakashi from Naruto or something. You know what I mean? But either way, this is hilarious. And I find the right-wing outrage at this to be way funny, but the left-wing outrage is, I hate calling it left-wing outrage because I don't consider these people left-wingers. I think they're centrist, apolitical nihilists. But their outrage at this is also really funny. Who gives a shit? Who fucking cares? Go fuck yourself. If this is the shit that you're wasting your time on, I've got news for you. There are 437 other members of the House of Representatives that have done a lot more shit. Hey, 37. 34. Maybe 27. Maybe I'll go 27, maybe. That's all I got. So how's everyone doing? Give me a goddamn, folks. This is what I think about your BPA. Back me up, Mila. All my homies hate BPA. Yeah, that's right. According to reports, it is BPA free. God damn. Yo, I'm hungry as hell. Folks, I highly recommend watching my show from yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's show, I thought it was pretty good. I was in a hell of a mood. Also, I'm going to be on another show. I think it's premiering, like, soon. I'm gonna be on a show. I don't know when I'm gonna be on the show. I don't know how I'm gonna be on the show. I don't know who is gonna tell me when I'm gonna be on the show. But I'm gonna be on the show at some point. At some point, I'm gonna be on this show. So I'm trying to, like, figure out how to, what I need to do. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna be on a show at some point on this channel. So, check that out. In the next, like, hour? I don't know. But yeah, go watch yesterday's show for sure. I'm hungry for Big Boss. You fucking wish. Fucking Trump-supporting, cop-loving motherfuckers. But, yeah. Fuck them. Alright, so I'm looking through Google News. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh shit. This is my shit right here. The For You tab on Google News actually backed me up this time. Alright, let's get it. Sir Walter Raleigh's colony vanished over 400 years ago. Scientists are still looking. It's one of the nation's great mysteries. The first permanent colony of English settlers in what would become the U.S. founded in North Carolina in 1587 by Sir Walter Raleigh disappeared 3 years later with virtually no trace. Now, this was one of my favorite ghost stories. This is my shit right here. I have read almost every single report that has ever been published on the history of Roanoke. Yet, I live about an hour away and I still haven't gone. I gotta do that at some point. But now archaeologists hope a new search for the lost colony will unearth clues about what happened to 117 men, women, and children who vanished and were never seen again. The First Colony Foundation, a group of archaeologists, is partnering with the National Park Service for a series of digs beginning this week at the Fort Raleigh National Historic Site. This dig includes new ground that's never been tested archaeologically. Jamie Lanier, a cultural resource manager and historian with the National Park Service, said in a statement. So it's very exciting to see what may be found. Scientists will dig for clues about the lost colony's disappearance. Sir Walter Raleigh, a famed English explorer and among Queen Elizabeth I's favorite subjects, by the way, was tasked with establishing a colony on Roanoke Island as England was trying to expand its reach across the globe. The expedition that would travel to the island on North Carolina's Outer Banks in 1587 ultimately formed the first permanent English settlement in North America. The land was previously home to the Carolina Algonquin people of course, no one knows what happened to them, right? Hey. Some of my favorite conspiracies, or like, I guess they're not conspiracies, but just, you know, potential outcomes, are that the settlers of Roanoke merged with native tribes. That's a very possible thing. For those of you that don't know, I delved into this. In the early 1700s, that is to say about 100 years after this colony was destroyed, in the early 1700s, there was a reporter and an author that did a tour, actually, of native tribes and was trying to be very friendly with them and trying to get, like, you know, history about them and learn about their people. And they found a native tribe in the area where some of the indigenous folks there had blue eyes and very pale skin, potentially offspring of the white settlers that came over and merged with the colony. I'm just saying these are all possible outcomes. But 3 years later, when a resupply mission returned to Raleigh's colony, none of the previous inhabitants were there. The only clue to their disappearance was the word Croatoan carved onto a wall. The dig occurring this week is focusing on a previous expedition to the area in 1585, when a group of military men and scientists scouted the land for Raleigh. Now again, another thing about the lost colony of Roanoke that's super interesting to me is that it wasn't abandoned, as in all the people just left, like, or disappeared mysteriously. The, like, logs that they used, the housing, right, all of their supplies were also torn down. So it's not like they actually genuinely packed up and left. Because what happened was Sir Walter Raleigh was supposed to come a year later, but didn't because of shit going on in England, because England fucking sucks dick in hell, right? So they basically felt abandoned, and they ran out of supplies. So what they did was they actually tore everything down and moved somewhere else, and that's the last clue that we got. The search will occur on several sites, including a metallurgical and science workshop set up by Thomas Harriot and Joachim Gans just a few years before the permanent settlers arrived. Archaeologists will re-excavate sites where previous searches may have missed or misinterpreted soil changes called features. To better understand what was there, according to the Foundation, some artifacts have already been discovered there, but scientists have also used ground-penetrating radar to identify new areas of interest. Last year, the team of archaeologists found shards of pottery they believed may have been owned by members of Raleigh's colony. The public is invited to watch the digs in person. Yo, actually, I might... Hold up. How can I do this? How can I watch the digs in person? Hold up. This is an article from yesterday. Hold up. Hold the phone, folks. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. How can I do that? All right. I'm going. I'm gonna go. I'm looking. First colony, okay. I'm trying to find out how I can do this. Anyway, folks, that's going to be the show. Thank you all for watching. God bless Roanoke. I think it's one of the coolest stories. I also just love history, and I love, like, the parts of history that we don't know. Like, I love, like, all, like, you know, like, I love the sculptures that you find. And then, you know, there's a lot of problems, obviously, when it comes to colonizers murdering and committing mass genocide, and, you know, that's horrible. And, like, I you know, it's one of those things. But, like, I love when we actually discover things about ancient civilizations. When there's, like, a new, like, Egyptian, like, tomb found or explored. Or do I need to pee again? Yes, I need to pee, so that's why the show is ending. I love that shit. Mysteries, ancient civilizations, amazing. When they find, like, a new cave, right? Like, that's cool as hell. Love that shit. And so I understand that the history of America is problematic. I get that. That being said, I'm a huge Roanoke fangirl, so that's all I can say. All my homies love Roanoke. And I'm trying to figure out how I can go there. I'm looking. News. Okay. There's also, like, another thing. There's another aspect of the Roanoke thing that's super cool. Underwater cities. Don't get me started on underwater cities. Do not get me fucking started on underwater cities. Otherwise, the show will be going on for another hour. But there's another aspect of the Roanoke thing, and that's DNA testing. Because if they can find any DNA of the... And this is, again, this is like the thing that's super cool about DNA. Is like people have been trying to find out what happened to Roanoke, right? For a long ass time. Right? And they were just digging and looking for like pottery or like fucking clothing. But if you can find, let's say, like any sort of human remains, and you can verify, like, let's say with like what clothes they were wearing or like other sort of features, you can verify the DNA, then you could do mass DNA testing. Huh? 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 I would give up my DNA to someone if they, you know, told me it was for the Roanoke Project. But anyway, that's all I have to say. That's today's show. I love Roanoke. That's all I got. And goodbye. That's it. It's over. Shut the fuck up and go get a life.
Proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you'd like to see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look.
And then they have cans of soup. Soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it, and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick, because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
The battle of righteousness versus Satan. Yes, Satan. Because these leftists are evil.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.